Welcome to the Medicare Cafe. You're joined by your host. My name's Olivia Richardson.
And back again. Olivia, let me come back another time. I think we're building a good rapport and a good rhythm here
Yeah,
with this.
there was actually like a high demand of people wanting to see more Will. So I got to give the people
Oh,
what they wanted. The people
you
wanted
have to
Will.
give the people the one. The dynamic duo, we're making this a thing. We
Yeah.
got to get it trademarked at this point. But the dynamic duo is back, and I'm glad to be back with you guys.
Jill from Night Lawson Filming, a integrity partner of ours, actually sent Will and I these Batman and Robin figurines just because, of our fun and just the way that we talk with each other and bounce off of each other. So we'll love that. She's so creative. So thank you, Jill, for doing that.
Yes.
But you might notice today looks a little bit different. So today is actually yesterday. Will and I are recording this on Monday the 15th because this time of year at when being an FMO doing what we do is incredibly nuts. And it's because everybody's gearing up, wondering what the industry is doing. There's tons of meetings all over the United States, and we have a role at most of them, at a lot of them. So the rest of this week, I'm going to be on the road. I was on the road all last week. Will, I know your traveling has
Yep.
been nuts. And so this is a pre-recorded episode, but even though it is pre-recorded, that is still my phone number. Text me at any time. I always try to get back to you within 24 hours, or usually the same business day at least. But just because you're watching the recorded version of this, or if you are watching the live, those are fun too. But yeah, just excited to do today's cafe episode.
Yeah, there was a lot of great conversations. This is going to kind of be a part two for something Olivia and I talked about a couple of weeks ago around social media. A lot of really good stuff kicking off of that
Yeah.
first one. Really excited to continue the conversations today.
Yeah, and social media is something like we mentioned a few weeks ago, it is not new. It is no longer a consideration of should you do it, should you not do it, where should you invest your money? But there are wrong ways to social media. There are ways to do a lot more damage, and if you allow it to do so, could actually rack up a ton of money without
Mhm.
racking up a ton of results. And so what we
Yep.
wanted to talk about today specifically was the do's and don'ts of social media. Now, we focus primarily on LinkedIn and Facebook, but a lot of the conversations we had today, and again, Will and I have not compared notes. We just kind of came up with the concept of today's cafe. But a lot of what we wanted to talk about today is, when we see, again, we talk about TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, all those other social media, Instagram, all those different social medias out there, most of them genuinely follow the same rules, even though the audience might be a little bit different and the messaging might be a little bit different. So, in this short amount of time we have today, this is part two social media with
Mhm.
your hosts, myself and Will. We're going to do this starts with the do's and do not. So, Will, I don't know how you organize yours. Mine's kind of organized where like the do's and the do nots are kind of opposite of
Okay.
each other. So let's do this. I'll start with you. You give
Hmm.
me a do and a do not, and then I'll give you my do's and do nots. We'll
Okay.
go one at a time.
Okay. So a do that I have is do lead with value. You
Lead
have
with value.
to kind of have value as a forefront. And what I mean by that is, as a business owner, as an agent out there, you're always kind of selling yourself, whether you realize it or not. So, what is the value of working with you? What is the value of working with a broker? What do you do differently? But the don't to that is don't be promotional. You have to give
Mm,
more than you take. In marketing world, they call it like a call to action or a CTA. If every single post has a hook or an ask or a take, people
yeah.
aren't going to want to engage with that.
Hmm. People can tell. People can tell when they're being sold to. What's interesting is that people want to buy. They don't want to be sold to. It's the reason, like, where a lot of us, when we're buying vehicles, we want to do all of our research online ourselves before we go talk to an actual car salesman. Or whenever we're in like shopping for clothes, whenever somebody says, "Can I help you with something?" Who here has ever, my mom? My mom's like the only person who I says is, "Yes, can you please help me find something?" She's so darling. But she's the only person I know who will accept help because nobody wants to be sold to. So I think that's a really good point. When your value starts feeling too promotional and that sales advertising kind of kicks up, then yeah, people will just, we are so inundated with advertisements that our brains like will just turn off with
Yep.
it. So,
Yeah.
which
What are
is
yours?
confusing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just asking what was your first do and don't?
Yeah. So my first one is going to be kind of along the same lines, but a little different. And this goes across all platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all platforms. Do post personal stuff. Post things what you're comfortable with, right? If you're somebody that doesn't want pictures of your kids on the internet or wants to keep your private life very private, then obviously that's not what I mean. But posting pictures with your pets, posting pictures of your office staff, posting pictures of the fun events that you're doing. Or if you are somebody like me, like again, I kind of put it all on social media, posting pictures of the vacation. So we have an agent one time that took a week off to go to Disney World. And on their Facebook, they said, "Thank you guys so much for your understanding of return phone calls. Family's so important to me, but this is what my family did while I wasn't accepting your phone call." So it's so important to post personal stuff because that's the purpose of social media, is to build a relationship on a mass basis
Yeah.
and build familiarity. So when people feel like they know you more, they feel like, even though it's this weird parasocial paradox that like why we feel like we know celebrities, we don't know celebrities, but we're familiar with them. So we feel like we know them. And so you can kind of do the same thing too. It makes you much more easy to refer because people want to work with their friends and they want to refer their friends.
Hmm.
The don't do, though, is getting too personal about touchy things.
Yep.
Insurance in itself is somehow, I mean, not somehow, it's very clear why, but it's crazy in today's world. It's a very political topic.
Yes.
All things
Very.
insurance, especially Medicare and especially
Hmm.
government programs within Medicare, is so politically driven. And you might think, well, I'm from a small town or I'm from a very large city. So every one of my clients believes the same way that I believe. I want them to know my morals. I want them to know where I stand. But you don't want to limit yourself to half, only working with half of the population. We talk about, like, even in our small towns, right, that tend to be primarily conservative. If you look at our agents who are working, I said this last cafe, who are working in small towns, their book of business actually out is bigger than the entire town combined. So you don't really want to limit yourself
Hmm.
to only half of the demographics. If you're posting political stuff, you are eliminating a good amount of referrals or just people finding your page that you can get.
Yep.
Plus, political things tend to go very negative, and you don't want to
Hmm.
bring negative attention or negative energy to your page. You want to keep things light, you want to keep them up here, you want to keep them happy, relate
Absolutely.
good, positive energy with your name, brand, logo, all of that.
Yeah. You joked that we didn't really compare notes, but I had something very similar for one of
Ooh.
mine.
It's
I
almost like we've been
had,
working together for forever.
yeah, I had engaged like a person, not a brand. So
Oh,
similar,
yeah.
but just a touch different. You want that personal touch in that person. And I love the point that you made about not getting overly personal in
Yeah.
there, because it
Yeah.
is really easy to exclude a customer base, whether we want it to be or not. You know, the political climate is more charged than ever before, and people are pretty quickly turned off if it's very obvious, I think is
Mhm.
where I want to go with that. Very obvious of how you feel about a certain topic
Yeah.
or a certain person. That can really quickly turn a base off and turn people off. But along those lines, with engaging like a person, not only the type of content you post, but
Yeah.
interacting as well. I think some of the businesses and even as large brands that I see doing it really well right now are engaging in the comments. They're responding
So
when
true.
people post. You feel like you're having a conversation with a person, even though you may not actually be, or it's one of five social media people at this company.
Yeah.
But they're engaged, liking a comment. If you're on TikTok, doing a stitch, I think is where you like respond to a comment with the video, I think is what they
Mhm.
call it. Like it
Mhm.
just that overall engagement is an absolute do.
Do you remember, I'm gonna say it was like 5 years ago, but like I'm to the point where I'm old and everything's actually like 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and in my head it's still five. When Twitter was Twitter and Wendy's just went
Hmm. Nut.
feral
Absolute
with
viral.
their
Yes.
commentary. But like, I mean, like, decade later, I'm still talking about when Wendy's, now don't do what Wendy's did. Wendy's was it is the fast food chain restaurant with the Goldilocks red style hair, and they
Yeah.
have the best fries out there. They beat blow controversial. I hate McDonald's French fries. Wendy's are way better. Anyways, so this so anyways, their social media person got on there, and like people were just like complaining about Wendy's, just like roast, and like she would get on there and just roast
Oh
them. Look
yeah.
it up, it's hilarious. But people are talking about it, and you're exactly right. It makes you more humanizing your brand, right? Which
Hmm.
especially is more important as your agency will grow. My
Yep.
second set of do's and do nots actually go around investment, because as we know with LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, uh, TikTok, you can actually invest money, like real human dollars,
Hmm.
into these programs. And a lot of people do that. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people have made a lot of success in actually using tools like social media as a marketing or ad generating thing. So I am going to say my do is to invest dollars into advertising onto these social media platforms. And it is confusing, right? Because I just said, like, don't come across adsy. I'm using the word advertising because that's what Meta calls it. It's
Yep.
ad creator. I'm not quite sure what LinkedIn calls it or other, but I know like Instagram and Facebook, it is advertisement. So I am gonna say do invest money into actually, they used to be called boosting. Again, boosting is not really a thing anymore, but promoting your posts in front of more people. Things that I would recommend doing that with would be things, one that is a really working as a great lead generator right now is going to be anything. Well, let me start here. What should you do with anything that has a strong call to action? If you're going to be putting money into it, then you're going to want to be generating like leads with it sometimes. Now, here's where things kind of get a little controversial with putting money into Facebook, putting money into LinkedIn, things like that, is that oftentimes the most compelling leads, that when you're investing money in it, you're expecting to get like a monetary thing out of it. You're expecting to get more applications. I put money in, I get money out, right? What typically happens, and the best return of leads that most people will get, are completely like unbrand, unnamed. They do nothing to promote your brand. You're offering them something in exchange for something that you want, aka their phone number, their email address, a way to contact them. So a lot of people will do like download this new to Medicare guide that you created, download this, and the more and the less branded it is by an agent, oftentimes the higher return you get. However, that actually doesn't do anything to help you long term because you aren't building your brand. You're not associating your name, your logo, your agency with the helpfulness of that information. So you might sacrifice some return rates. You might get a slower or shorter, smaller return rate by having it branded to the nines with your agency, but it's going to help you in the long run because it is going to, again, equate that really difficult, really hard, complex information with the helpfulness of your agency. So I kind of just muddled a bunch of my dues there. Do invest in promoting or advertisement on Facebook, and do
Yep.
make it to where it has your name, your logo, your branding. Sacrifice that return rate in order to kind of accomplish both marketing and lead generation. Those are very
Hmm.
hard things to do to accomplish at the same time. Lead gen and marketing don't normally go hand in hand together, which seems
Yeah.
kind of counterintuitive, but it's kind of what we see in the numbers. Now, my don't to that is don't invest in the wrong materials to promote. Right. So I just kind of told you here's some really good things to promote. Like I think Will said it best, leading with value,
Yep.
putting that and so what should you not promote? Don't invest anything that doesn't have a strong call to action. So if it's just hey, this is who my office is, or this is my
Hmm.
office, or hey, here's my a picture of my family in Disney World, that's not worth the money to promote it, right?
Yep.
If you're gonna post a picture of like your event of, what am I trying to say, your client appreciation event, right? Not really a strong call to action. So don't waste money just to promote your content. Because when you
Hmm.
create an advertisement in Facebook or LinkedIn or any of this, all that does is just tell the algorithm to put your content in front of more people and put them in front of them more often. So
Hmm.
even people who haven't interacted with you or followed your pages will still get that content. But if you're not telling them what to do with that content and your message isn't very clear, which again, remember, like I said, most social media is designed for relationship building,
Yep.
not call to actions. So you have to be very specific about what you want to put your dollars in. And I will tell you, if you try to go at it on your own and create your own social media ads and kind of play with this type A versus B, you can waste a lot of money doing it. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people out there, we've worked really hard on this as well, who've kind of geared in how to actually build some of these Facebook leads, these Facebook advertisements, but understand if you want that to be the priority or the primary way that you receive your social media leads, you're going to be investing thousands of dollars. I don't think I'm too, I was gonna say, I don't think I'm too far off
Oh,
there on the
yeah.
low end. I
Yeah.
mean, it's if that's gonna be your primary method of generating leads is utilizing social media.
Yep.
I have somebody who I respect so much, Chase Greenberg. He is an open book. He's made it very clear that's how he's done a lot of his social media. I was talking to him the other day at an event. He was talking like 6,000 a day that they're
Hmm.
investing, and it works.
It
But to
works.
have the capital to do that, that's not something that a lot of us could start off doing for sure.
No.
So that's my do and don't. Do invest, don't do it in the wrong stuff.
At what point, Olivia, do you feel like it's worth having the conversation of hiring out for the investment portion of your social media?
I think the conversation could start immediately. I don't think there's a point like I've gotten, in fact, it's probably the opposite. Like there are a lot of people think I get so big and so busy that now I need to farm this out. I think we have to remember Facebook doesn't make us money. Posting doesn't make us money. We hope that posting eventually turns into an app, but managing your social media doesn't make you money. So if you don't find joy in it, it's not a creative outlet for you, and it's
Yeah.
not something that you're going to do consistently, then it is worth every penny to farm that out and have somebody else take care of all of your management of your social media, both the advertisements and just your general posts. It's important enough that if you
Hmm.
find that it's taking time away from appointments or if it's taking time away from managing clients and you're not doing it regularly, get rid of it.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And I want to go back to the point that you said about having your giveaway materials, for lack of a better word, and that's
Mhm.
far too, widespread of what we're talking about here. Being
Yeah.
branded to you is
Mhm.
a lot of people, I think, have shied away from that because you see all these kind of just I get Facebook ads on my feed for Medicare content because, well, I engage
Mhm.
with it on the regular.
Mhm.
And it's always, things like gohelpseniors.org or just these just like super generic
Yeah.
things. And people see that and they think that that's always what works. And
Mhm.
while that may generate lead forms and lead responses, I think there's something to be said about spending a little bit more and having a little bit higher client acquisition costs and CPA costs there if they're going to be stickier in the long run. And they're
Mhm.
stickier when they know your brand and they know you and they're not just clicking on every single thing that they see because they think it's going to help them. And so I really think that's important and worth
Yeah.
taking a look at. If you're paying someone to do advertising for you, are they doing it on your own branding and your own channel, or are they using some third party preset up one that they just funnel to you?
Yeah, you can get numbers can lie, especially in a creative
Mhm.
space like social media marketing. Then you can make the numbers tell you whatever you want. Like, I mean, when I go to my LinkedIn, and I'm not huge on LinkedIn, I don't post nearly as often as you will. I don't get the follows that you get. But when I post on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's very quick to tell me you've made this many impressions, you had this
Yeah.
many views. I mean, I'm in like hundreds and thousands, and it's just like, but none of these numbers the algorithm they're going to tell you because they're selling you stuff. I mean, all
Yep.
these things that are generating these numbers and telling you how successful it is also the same people trying to make money off of your content and posting for
Hmm.
in your posts and encouraging you to do it even more. So I think that's a really great point is we're talking about, again, I kind of went off on a tangent. I know, shocking, but it's talking about you shouldn't be doing social media and looking at a singular post and the
Hmm.
success of a singular post. You should be, and to measure the success of your social media
Oh,
is
it's
like
so
measuring
hard.
the success of a billboard. Like you
Yeah.
you don't know what it was, what
Hmm.
social media, what oftentimes it is more than anything, is that social media kept you top of mind. And when
Yeah.
it came down to actually making a choice on insurance or going to see an agent, something else happened that made your name came up, a referral
Yep.
perhaps, or maybe a different advertisement, or maybe a lead, something that you saw, something else. But the familiarity of you and your brand that you built of being consistently in front of them is
Hmm.
what made you an easier decision at the end of the day.
Yep. They used to always say that it took 7 times of seeing a brand before you'd buy. And social media could be the seventh, it could have been the first. You don't know where in that chain that it was, but it's important to be in every step of that chain. I had a
They're even bumping
third.
that up. They bumped that up. It's now, it used to be 5 to 7. It's now 7 to 12 times that a
Oh,
person has to see a message. So seven's on the low end. It's seven to
yeah,
12 times that a person has to see a message before they feel compelled to act on it. So if you feel like you're blowing up your clients, no, you're not. If they get it from you once, they need it 11 more times before they're
yes.
actually going to do the activity you want them to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of had a third, overarching do don't theme here. And I had do be consistent, don't try to be clever. And
Oh,
it
explain that.
sounds really silly to say, but what I mean by don't try to be clever is don't always be trying to chase laugh reactions or funny memes or the hot thing of the day
Sorry.
because that's gonna fade. If you can consistently post and just be there regularly rather than trying to be the clever guy, I think you're gonna be leaps and bounds ahead of your competition.
I love that. I think of like I just roll my eyes so hard because all the cringe of like companies doing the
Yep,
TikTok dances and doing like the
yep,
what's bad and like you see these like kids, I say kids, these 18, 20-year-olds like doing these dance and then you see these it's cringy,
yeah,
but I agree with you completely. But I think if it's in the personality of your agency to, oh, my dogs are about to go nuts. UPS is here. You might hear them. Anyways, if it's in the realm of the personality of your agency to be funny and
yeah,
humorous, then 100% bring that personality into your marketing, into your social media. But yes, be just careful because there is a line.
yeah. It's very easy to cross that line as
Yeah.
well. It can very much feel like you don't want to lose your audience in trying to be, on trend or on brand. If you're on TikTok as your agency is doing the latest trendy dance, what is going to attract people to work with you, or is it replying to a comment and maybe you find a way to work a joke in there or some self-deprecating humor if you're me, there's a lot of that. But like you can bring some pizzazz to things without trying to be overly clever. I'm assuming the dogs are going nuts because I saw Olivia hit
Can
her.
you hear them? Can you hear them, or is the mic suppression doing its job?
I think the mic expression is doing its thing.
Okay, well, heck, we'll take it. We'll take. I'm probably gonna get a call. I have the most beautiful dogs, and I have a German
Yes.
short-haired pointer. He's massive. German short-haired pointers are supposed to be like lean and slender and like because they're supposed to be able to like get in dens and be
Yeah.
crazy, and he is. But this dog, I kid you not, when I stand, his head's up to like my ribs. Like he's huge. And apparently, like I don't can't blame a delivery guy for maybe thinking twice before they come to my door with that barking at them. So, and there they go. Guess it worked out. Thank you, Mr.
Look at that.
Ups. Anyways, my last one, and I have a do, and I know there's a dough associated with it, but I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody can tell me. My thing was do giveaways. Do giveaway tickets, giveaway. And I love like and getting really creative, giving away like gym memberships, giving away things like that. I have somebody that loves to do, they are in like the Kansas City area and they'll get gift baskets and they'll go to all their local restaurants and their local things and saying I'm doing this. I'd love to advertise your store. I'd love to advertise your boutique. I'd love to advertise your service. I do a quarterly gift basket giveaway. Would love to be able to feature your stuff. So they're not paying anything for it and they're doing advertisement of what's featured in there. And so and doing giving aways, but giving aways, performing giveaways contests by doing something that doesn't ask a person to move away from that platform. So if it's like you're on Facebook and you're saying, "Hey, like email me something like this." Like if you got to stick to that platform. So doing a giveaway that's like and share this. Tag who you would give this to. Tag your, Happy Mother's Day. We're going to do a giveaway. Tag all your favorite moms, like things like that, asking them to interact in a thing that allows them to stay within the platform and tricks the algorithm into thinking that that post is really, really great. Now, I will say, the algorithm has gotten smart to this. So it is, so we do see a lot of times where it used to be you do giveaways, things like this, like, share, comment, and the algorithm would put it in front of more people. You're not going to see that as much because the algorithm has gotten wise to that and knows that, like, hey, if it's a contest or a giveaway, we're not going to get in front of more people. But what it does do, you get people to share on it, or it gets people to comment on it, then people who they are tagging in those posts are getting to see that content too. So it is kind of organically generating that. So do giveaways. A lot of questions. I got so many questions last week about, like, what can I do because I have to adhere to the $15
Yep.
guidelines, or what will CMS. CMS has nothing to do with it. You're not doing a giveaway associated with a sales event or an educational event. You're not
Yep.
doing a giveaway that has anything to do with Medicare Advantage or Part D. So
Yep.
keep that out of that. These giveaways have to do with the branding and the value of your agency, not
Mhm.
with your product. It's like it'd be like if you like Ace Hardware, right? If you're working at an Ace Hardware is going to do things to promote Ace Hardware. You're not going to see a ton of them do a ton of advertisements on behalf of Snap-on tools. They're going to do advertisements on Ace Hardware. You as an agent should be doing advertisement of your agencies. You shouldn't be spending your money to advertise the products and the things that you have. They're buying you. The products are just the tools that you use to service your clients. But at the end of the day, they're buying your word, your recommendation, your trust. So
Yep.
making sure that, yes, making sure that you're really staying focused when it comes to compliance and dollars associated, it doesn't exist. You don't have to worry about CMS guidelines when it comes to doing giveaways associated with to liking and sharing posts.
I think that's also, if you think about a giveaway too, it's a great opportunity to partner with your other centers of influence in your community. Like if you've got great partnerships across your
Yes.
community, like that's a really easy way to work your referral partners in as well. Like if you and a financial
Mhm.
advisor have a great relationship, like and maybe the winner of this giveaway gets a free financial portfolio audit and they'll just sit down with you and talk about your retirement health score and work with you on something. It doesn't always have to be a physical commodity as
Sure.
well of a giveaway. Like there's a lot of ways to partner with other referral partners of yours and kind of co-do stuff together on this that
Absolutely.
can be huge for your branding as well. I would say my don't to that would be don't do it too often.
Oh, true.
If
True.
you're running something every single month, it loses the luster, and it's just like, are you
Yeah.
just trying to get more followers to you start to have too many ask and too many takes there
Well,
on
and it
that
confuses
would be
people
my
what you
don't.
do. Are you a
Yeah.
social media company or are you an insurance company? Like, if all
Yep.
they're seeing of you is you promoting giveaways that you're doing and things like that, it really does confuse the message. So, great point.
Yeah. I
You
want
complete
to
me.
we are one. Symbiotic here. I want to ask a question. You talked about people are buying you. They're not, the way I always look at it is, MA carrier plan one, MA carrier plan one, Olivia is the same if you present it and if I present it, as long as we're doing compliant sales presentations here. The benefits are
Okay.
the benefits of those
Mm-hmm.
plans, but we are different people. And so
Mm-hmm.
how, as an agent is approaching their social media game plan, for lack of a better word, how can we get that authenticity across? What's the best way on the do and don't on getting your authenticity across? Of this is why people choose me.
Yeah, in my opinion, I would love to hear your opinion. Authenticity comes from being consistent and truly being authentic. I think when I say, like, posting personal stuff,
Yeah.
pictures of your family, your pets, even your office staff, I think familiarity plays a huge role in that. And so being consistent to where people can learn about who you are, and learn about whether that's the persona of you as the agent or you as the family man, you as the mom and the care, whatever the case may be. If people feel like they actually get to learn who you are, I think in another way of saying that, another way of even looking at that is something that Joanne coached forever. And I know it's a famous quote, but I'm gonna give her all the credit because she told it to me, which is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so some of that authenticity is consistently delivering a message about your warms and fuzzies and why you're in this industry and your why. And letting and really getting across, and consistency is one of the best ways to do that.
Mhm.
Messaging, testimonials, but really letting people it come through that you care about what you do and you care about your clients. But what do you think?
I think for me, a couple things that I think of is one, I was just talking about this with someone else, of it needs to sound like it's your voice. If
Yes.
everything you wrote reads like it's AI and it just feels very monotone, there's going
Yeah.
to be no authenticity to that. And it's
Very
not going
true.
to feel like a person. And to take a little bit more of like a numbers approach, because for those of you that don't know, I'm a numbers nerd and I'm pretty sure I think in Excel spreadsheets, but we'll segue that for another conversation. I think there's something to be said too about generating authenticity through social proof of reviews. Um, and if you are, if you just finished up a great client appointment, like taking a selfie with them with their permission, of course, and if they have a
Yeah.
review or they have something that they want to say about you, putting that testimonial on there, because I've got two examples with this. So we were just out in Park City, Utah last week,
Mhm.
and I love Indian food. So I'm going to start the record there. There was this Indian restaurant like 10 minutes from our hotel. It has been open for 2 years. Olivia, would you like to guess how many Google reviews this place has?
An Indian restaurant that was open for 2 years.
It's been open in that location for 2 years in a ski
I
town in
mean,
Utah.
I would think that would have lots, cause if yeah, I don't know how many.
6,100 five-star Google reviews in two
Oh,
years.
I was thinking more like 30.
Right. 30 reviews would be a lot. 6,100 5 stars. We were driving to the restaurant and I joked with Madison, my wife, I go, either they just threaten your life if you don't give them a 5 star review,
Truly.
or the food is genuinely that good. And it was option B. The food was amazing. But there's something to be said about, okay, well, that many people can't be wrong. That many
Yeah.
people can't have made a bad decision. Like, this guy must be really good at what he does. And I think there is an authenticity to that proof. If you've impacted people the way that we know our agents impact lives by getting them in the coverage that they need, make sure they have the package of protection, all the necessary products to round out that coverage, they should feel how much you care. They should feel that impact. And hopefully, you're asking them, can you leave me a Google review? So I think there's something to be said too about authenticity through that social proof of reviews as well.
I love that. I think that's so important. That's so huge. And like I will say, I think in addition to that, we have one of our longtime show watchers, Sherry Stewart, her agency, Emily on there. They do like really fun videos. And one video that I remember, it was them advertising their event that they had coming up. They had like a client appreciation, and they're doing these kind of like cheesy little campy, like, come join us. And then Emily just like ran into a sign and she was just like, oh, like just in such pain, and it was so cute and so funny, but they kept that in there, and there's like no insurance agents were harmed in the making of this promotion. And I was just like like the lack of polish, I
Yeah.
think, is what drives
Yep.
so much of that. And I just
Yep.
love that. I'll give them the shout out. I thought that was such a cute way of doing that. But I think we nailed it. Well, I think we did a great job. I don't know. I don't think
Crushed
any
it.
I was looking at my phone trying to figure out like why is nobody texting me about this? But it's like, oh, it's because it's not airing
Right.
live. I will get text messages tomorrow about this
Correct.
during our meetings. But Will, I can't say enough. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you. I know you
Thank
put
you
so
for
much
having
work
me.
into this, and you're just so flexible and helpful and wonderful and amazing and just lovely. And so I appreciate you. But again, if you guys have any questions about should you be doing Facebook advertisements?
Yep.
Should you be investing more in LinkedIn? How can you get more involved in TikTok? Call our office. Make sure you can
Mhm.
talk to us. We're more than happy to help you out with it. Or text me. Again, I'm not going to know a lot of the answers, but I do know the people that do know a lot of the answers. So please reach out to me. But just what a fun set episode. What a fun time.
I love it. Thanks again for having me, Olivia.
Of course, of course. Okay. So again, guys, thank you for watching this episode. Like, share, tag people in it. We should take our own medicine about how to promote yourselves on social media. But again, thank you guys so much. So until next time, have fun
Make money
and
and
give
give
impeccable
impeccable
service.
service.
Nailed it.